Mr. Speaker, I recognize that this may come as a shock to the President of the United States and to some of the members of this institution, but thank God the Cold War is over. The Soviet Union no longer exists as a nation. The Warsaw Pact no longer exists. In fact, Russia and the other former communist countries are now applying for membership in NATO as our allies. Mr. Speaker, while the Soviet Union, our superpower enemy for 45 years, may no longer exist, what does continue to exist is the reality that 5 million of our children go hungry every day, that 2 million of our people sleep out on the streets, that 85 million Americans lack comprehensive health insurance, that Medicare has been cut for our elderly, and many of our senior citizens are unable to afford prescription drugs, that cities and school districts all over this country are facing bankruptcy, and that millions of working-class kids cannot afford the high cost of a college education. What continues to exist is that the standard of living of our working people declines as our manufacturing base continues to erode, and more young people earn their living by flipping hamburgers and waiting on tables. And what also continues to exist is that we are leaving a terrible legacy to our children and grandchildren in terms of a $4 trillion national debt. Mr. Speaker, it is absolute insanity and gross irresponsibility to continue to spend tens of billions of dollars a year defending Western Europe and Japan against a non-existent enemy when the poor and the working people of this country are crying out for help. It is an abomination to spend billions of dollars on unnecessary weapon systems when we desperately need to rebuild America, our housing, our infrastructure, our educational system, our healthcare system, our transportation and energy systems, and in that process create millions of decent-paying jobs. Mr. Speaker, the people of this country want the peace dividend. They deserve a peace dividend. Let us pass this rule and pass the bill.
Gentleman's
Thank you.
Time has expired. The gentleman